Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We're going to talk about if you are sick. And this is something that we mentioned a couple times, Adam, but as a peaking pitfall, you put all this time into the show, you're ready to go, and all of a sudden on Tuesday or Wednesday or maybe even Friday or Saturday, you wake up with, let's run the gamut. Let's talk about, kind of a little head cold, or maybe that's progressed into something like bronchitis and you're afraid you're going to be coughing on stage, or the full-blown flu. How do you handle those situations? And have you ever had to suggest to a client, like, we just can't do this show?
I luckily have never had to pull anyone out for being sick. I came really close when Jen got her pro card at North Americans. She was throwing up that whole day. So what we did is we basically avoided any of her food. Because I was pretty sure it was a food contamination issue. And we just tried to keep salt, and anytime she rejected fluids, we just said, hey, that's not going to work. And, if adding the fluids is making this worse, we're just going to go fluid less. And it kind of came down to the hour of not putting anything in her and, tackling the prejudging round, and then getting a different game plan for night show. So it really came down to the minutes on our decision on putting her on stage and decision on what we were going to even do from a peaking perspective.
So as a health scientist and healthcare professional, I have to say there are reasons why you don't want to put your body through something like that, having the flu on contest day, or risking contaminating other people. But I also know, Adam, not one single person would ever listen to that advice, because again, you put so much into this. If you were an Olympic athlete, you're still gonna go out there and run that race. You may pass out on the track, but I know nothing's going to stop that person once they have made it that far. Same thing in physique sport. All of that time coming down to one day on the stage, and I agree. You're going to have to modify some things. You definitely have to take care of your health, and just everything's going to go out the window when it comes to your plan with food and hydration. But if you stay smart and focus on your health, I just think at least you still have a shot. 99% of the job is done with your prep. And now you just have to make sure you can at least get out there. And if you still don't look your absolute best, obviously you have a reason why. And you can kind of lean back on that, but at the same time, I don't think there's anybody out there who's gonna just stop.
Yeah, in Jen's case, it really came down to the conditioning we achieved before she got sick. And I'll always say this: sometimes people win despite what we do, and basically, it would have accidentally been a case of cutting water for the prejudging round, just because she couldn't get any in. And we see people win like that all the time. It doesn't mean it's the right application. But yeah, she was able to still win, not looking her best. But she actually was able to get fluids in and a little bit of different food in that we bought that day, just to make sure she wouldn't recontaminate herself. And she ended up looking much better for the night's show, obviously. But we were really happy with how it turned out, because she did get her pro card still that day.
Yeah, and one thing that I would say is, as you're moving through that day, do what you have to feel your best and perform. So you mentioned, trying to work on fluids, maybe getting a little bit more sodium in, and just doing something to stay vertical. Just don't allow yourself to really hit the wall. That may be, getting some juice, taking some supplements, some extra vitamin C, just to, obviously you're not going to boost your immunity enough to make a huge impact, but it could make you much more apt to just feel better and move through that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys, stay tuned. We got 3 or 4 more things we want to cover as we go through this process of working through obstacles that you might incur during peaking. So we'll see you next time in Contest Prep University.